Hello everyone, I'm Ocir. Time to have another look at some pictures. This time I'm going to talk about the illusion maintained during a Larp event. And what do I mean by that? Well, I am referring to the parts of the game that really makes it feel like you're in a different age of time or different universe and so on. To some people Larp is only a place to show up and participate, while to a lot of Larpers it is a world to dive into and enjoy the immersiveness. So how do you create this illusion? Well, being true to the universe or age is certainly a good start. Don't make a Darth Vader role in a medieval universe or type of Larp. The same idea works for props, costumes and so on. What I believe to be the biggest killer moment for the illusion of Larp is when people go out of character a lot. Usually during a Larp event a player is expected to stay in character at all times. However, some individuals struggle with this and can't help but to talk about real life stuff, gaming, a colleague they hate or something along those lines. There is several ways to deal with this kind of players, and remember that these tools, if you want to call them that, can be used by both game masters and players. You could grab a hold of them, take them away from the other players and talk to the person who's out of character. If they have something they absolutely have to talk about, then indulge them in that. You will be surprised how fast the chat is over if the subject is not critical for some reason. You could do the same as I just mentioned and then explain to them the importance of him or her staying in character and how it ruins the game for everyone else, giving him or her a reminder that being out of character does not really belong in a Larp event and why that is. If none of these work, you can bring the person to a game master and let him or her take care of the situation. As a game master, you do have a couple more options to deal with this. You have the possibility to really slam the rules in the table in a more strong way than any player feels like they have the right to do or obligated to do. And if nothing else works, it is also possible to set the out of character player into a sort of timeout until ready to begin LARPing again, or in worst case scenario, banish that player from the event. I believe that when you begin on a Larp event, you should put your real life on break, stow it away in the back of your mind. The friends and enemies you have in real life no longer matters. I have personally played a character being a good friend of another character, which was played by a guy I really couldn't stand. But I played my part, enjoyed the LARP and so on, and as it turns out, he wasn't such a bad guy after all. Of course, it would be a good idea to reactivate the mindset of real life once the event is over. Don't get stuck in your role, that's a bad idea. So, back to the subject of the Larp illusion. In general, you could think about it this way. What can be done so the players get the correct mood? Music, props, costumes and creative characters are probably the main factors here. Why is the illusion important in the first place? Well, most LARPers want to LARP because of the experience. If it feels like you just dressed up and bashed someone with a toy sword, got tired and went home, it doesn't sound much like an experience worth remembering. But if the event feels real, the tavern looks good, the bard played some awesome music that really gave off a tavern-like mood, not to mention the drunkard who kept losing in poker and kept trying to pay off his debt by telling bad jokes. I hope most of you can agree that this example sounds a lot more fun than the first one, and maybe you would have a bigger chance of actually remember that LARP event than the previous one. So I hope I managed to illustrate the importance of the illusion and how you can enforce and defend it. So that's about it. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, leave a like. If you want more, subscribe. I'm Ocir. Take care.